Professor Zoaxthera adjusted her crystalline optical sensors as she prepared for what she considered the most dangerous lecture of the semester. The Galactic Academy's Xenobiology course had students from 47 different species, but today's lesson focused on the death world designated as Sol 3, more commonly known as Earth. Today, esteemed scholars, the Kthari professor announced, her translator converting her clicking mandibles into standard galactic, we examine the most lethal biological compounds in the known galaxy. These samples come from Earth. The amphitheater fell silent. Even the usually boisterous Vren students stopped their chittering. Earth's reputation had preceded it. A planet so hostile that its dominant species had evolved not through superior technology or psionic abilities, but through sheer, stubborn survivability. Athena sat in the third row, her dark eyes scanning the containment fields that shimmered around each specimen tube. She'd grown used to the stares from her alien classmates over the past 3 months. Being one of only 5 humans in a university of thousands had that effect. Her fingers drummed absently on her datapad as Professor Zoaxthera activated the holographic display. This first sample, the professor gestured with a delicate manipulator appendage, contains venom from a creature humans call the inland taipan. A single bite carries enough neurotoxin to kill 250,000 mice or 100 adult humans. We have diluted this sample to 0.001% concentration for safety protocols. A collective gasp rippled through the auditorium. Several students instinctively moved back from the display. Walker, sitting 2 seats away from Athena, leaned forward with interest. The former Earth military medic had seen his share of dangerous wildlife during his service in Australia. He caught Athena's eye, and they exchanged knowing looks. Next, Professor Zoaxthera continued, her voice taking on a reverent tone. The box jellyfish. This creature's cnidocytes deliver a venom so potent it causes cardiac arrest within minutes. Victims have died before reaching shore from waters merely waist-deep. This sample is diluted to 0.005%. A Deltharian student in the front row raised a tentacle. Professor, if I may ask, how did humans survive on a planet with such nightmarish predators? An excellent question, Kelth. That is precisely what makes humanity so fascinating to xenobiologists. They didn't merely survive, they thrived. The professor's mandibles clicked in what might have been admiration or horror. The translator couldn't quite capture the nuance. The next hologram showed a small, almost beautiful creature. The blue-ringed octopus. Despite being no larger than a human fist, it carries tetrodotoxin sufficient to kill 26 adult humans. There is no antivenom. This sample is diluted to 0.0001% concentration. Walker raised his hand. Professor. Yes, human Walker. Why are they diluted? The amphitheater went completely silent. Even the environmental systems seemed to pause. Professor Zoaxthera's optical sensors fixed on Walker with an intensity that made several nearby students uncomfortable. I don't understand the question, she said slowly. Walker stood, his 6-foot frame drawing attention from every corner of the room. Athena suppressed a smile, knowing exactly where this was going. You're showing us Earth's deadliest venoms, Walker explained calmly. But you've diluted them to fractional percentages. I'm asking why they needed to be diluted at all. For study, I mean. Professor Zoaxthera's translator emitted a series of confused beeps before she regained composure. Human Walker, surely you understand that these compounds, even in microscopic quantities, could kill most species in this room within heartbeats? The containment fields themselves are military-grade. Any higher concentration would require orbital-class safety protocols. Right? Walker nodded. But humans handle these animals. We study them, extract venom from them. We have people whose job it is to work with these creatures daily, for research and anti-venom production. Athena stood as well, pulling up data on her pad. My uncle works at a venom research facility in Brazil. They process over 2,000 venom extractions annually from lancehead vipers, Brazilian wandering spiders, and other local species. The staff handles undiluted samples regularly. Standard protective equipment, sure, but it's considered a normal job. The Kthari professor's crystalline structure flickered through several colors that didn't translate to any known emotion. Your people handle these substances? Deliberately. We have to, Athena explained. To create antivenoms, you need to expose host animals to the actual venom, then harvest antibodies. My cousin got bitten by a rattlesnake on a camping trip when she was 12. The antivenom saved her life. Someone had to extract that venom from actual snakes to make it. A Vren student spoke up, her voice trembling. Your young go into environments where these creatures live? For recreation? Well, yeah, Walker shrugged. Camping, hiking, swimming. You learn to watch where you step, shake out your boots, check before you put your hands somewhere. Most people live their whole lives around these animals without incident. Professor Zhuangxtara seemed to be recalculating everything she knew about human psychology. And the box jellyfish that kills within minutes. Australian beaches put up nets and warning signs during jellyfish season, Athena said. People still swim. You just pay attention. The spiders? The snakes? The scorpions? You check your shoes in the morning in some areas, Walker added casually. It becomes habit. No big deal. The professor's entire body language shifted. She gestured to her display with what might have been resignation. I have 17 more samples to show. Should I assume that humans have casual proximity to all of them? Athena pulled up Earth's biodiversity statistics on the main display. Professor, these are the deadliest. Earth has over 70,000 known venomous species. Humans inhabit every continent except Antarctica, and we've even staffed research stations there. We've been bitten, stung, and envenomed by just about everything, and we've developed treatments, protective equipment, and practical wisdom for coexisting with it all. The amphitheater erupted in multilingual chaos. Students from species that had evolved on garden worlds with minimal predation couldn't reconcile the data with their understanding of survivable environments. Professor Zhuangxtara raised a manipulator for silence. When order was restored, she regarded both humans with her unblinking optical sensors. Human Athena, human Walker, would you be willing to co-lecture next week's class? I believe my understanding of your species' threat assessment protocols may be fundamentally flawed. Walker grinned. Happy to, Professor. Though I should mention, we haven't even touched on Earth's bacteria, viruses, or parasites yet. The Deltharian student from earlier fainted, its tentacles going limp across its desk. Athena helped call for medical assistance while thinking about next week's lecture. Wait until they learned about the immune system humans had developed to survive in such a hostile biosphere. That would really blow their minds. The class filed out, chattering nervously. Professor Zhuangxtara updated her course notes. Next to Earth Biology, Extreme Caution, she added a new designation. Humanity, Survival through Absurd Resilience. Further study required. It wasn't the formal scientific terminology she preferred, but sometimes the galactic languages simply didn't have adequate words for what the actual hell